So you're considering a move to North Idaho and you're curious about the small town of Bayview, tucked in at the south end of Lake Pend Oreille in North Idaho? Well, if that question's been keeping you up at night, you are in the right spot, because today's video is all about Bayview, Idaho. Check out that floating home. All right, let's go jump in. All right, I wanted to jump on here and give a couple of quick facts about Bayview so you kind of understand where it is located and the size of it, proximity to other things here in North Idaho. So Bayview is an unincorporated community in it's situated at the south end of Lake Pend Oreille. We are about 7 miles east of Athol, Idaho. So that kind of gives you some bearing on the location of it. Bayview is a very small community. The population is about 700. The median age here is 60 years old, so much more in the way of a retirement community. There are some families that live here as well, so it could be an option for you if you had a family. The median household income is $53,000. So, and there are about 400 households here in Bayview. So there's a bit of everything. There's a few restaurants, there's a coffee shop, and I'm standing down here at the public marina boat launch area. So, and then off to my back there, way in the back, you can see the edge of the naval base. Yes, I said naval base. U.S. Navy has a base here in Bayview. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. Proximity to things. So we're about 28 miles from Coeur d'Alene, which is a 35-minute drive. 26 miles to Sandpoint. So Sandpoint is a little bit closer, and that's about a 35-minute drive also. Like I said, 7 miles to Athol, and 60 miles to the Spokane International Airport, which translates to about an hour drive. So that kind of gives you the layout and the proximity of Bayview to other things. And let's go jump into some more facts.
Hey everybody, I want to introduce myself. My name's Eric Boardman. I work with Dave Fowler and Seth Horst at Your North Idaho agent. I want to talk a little bit about Bayview and Lake Pend Oreille in general. When I first came here, I worked for the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. I was a Marine deputy out here and came to experience some of the unique features of Lake Pend Oreille. This lake's actually 150 square miles. It's 43 miles long. It's 1,150 feet deep, which is part of the reason the U.S. Navy likes to use this as a submarine sonar testing facility, is some of those acoustic principles. We actually did a rescue out here when I was part of the Marine Division, and you realize that with that depth and this type of lake, you end up with some similar characteristics to the ocean. Lake Pend Oreille actually has its own tide, has its own tidal schedule. So when the wind kicks up, you can get some good 9-10 foot swells on the lake. So there's my shameless safety plug from, can't get rid of the law enforcement guy in me. If you're gonna make that about 90-minute trip from Bayview to Sandpoint, just be cautious of what the weather conditions are out here on the lake, because it can really kick up. But Lake Pend Oreille and Bayview in general, with the floating cabins and characteristics of this particular lake, make it pretty interesting, but can definitely generate some sea state.
Hey, Eric, myself, and the rest of our team of former first responders, we get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you trying to learn more about North Idaho. So hit that subscribe button, tap the notifications bell so you can stay up to date on all of our latest content. And if you're looking to move right now or 12 months from now, give us a call, text, or email. We would love to help you make that smooth move right here to North Idaho. So we can't do a video about Bayview, Idaho without talking about the floating homes here in Bayview, because they are a major feature of Bayview, Idaho. Super unique. There are about 100 of these homes right here behind me. You can see a lot of them. Some of them are Really cool looking. Check out that one. So they've been here for about 100 years. New float homes cannot be constructed, so these are all being remodeled. Last constructed one was approved was in the 1970s, so it's been a while. So you have to remodel them if you want to update one of the ones that's existing, and you cannot add a new one. Some people have been adding second stories to these float homes, which is a good way to add some square footage. But if you can see behind me, some of them, they have boat garages in the back side of them. So you literally pull your boat into the garage on your floating home, spend the weekend here. Some people live here full time out on these because they are plumbed in to the shore. So they have septic that runs to the shore, they have power, they have water, they have all of that stuff. And they are actually sitting on these giant cedar logs. So if you look underneath them, these logs are very, very old, but they are expected to last hundreds of years and they'll just float there. So they build everything on top of that log structure, and that's what you get right there. So super unique aspect of Bayview are the floating homes. Pretty cool. All right, Eric and I are just taking a stroll down the dock here in Bayview. You can see some of these floating homes alongside us. Super cool. They've all been renovated somewhere, one way or another, but
Some more than others.
some more than others. Yeah.
Still
But what a great spot to come spend the summertime out here. Wintertime's a little rougher. It's pretty windy today and it's not warm, I'll tell you that, but summertime here would be absolutely fantastic.
Another thing that's near and dear to me, you'll notice behind me when I first showed that's actually a small Navy base that's permanently here in Bayview. I'd mentioned a little bit before, they do submarine acoustic testing. A little bit wild. Pend Oreille is the 5th deepest lake in the continental United States, and being that it's 1,150 feet deep, those acoustic principles, when you're at depth, it makes a lot less noise than does the bottom of the ocean. Prior to getting into law enforcement, I was on submarines for 6 years. And my first at-sea watch station was sonar. So I can tell you, when you get deep in the ocean, it sounds a little funky. The ocean tends to creak and grumble and growl a little bit at depth. So U.S. Navy found this lake, this crater lake, super deep crater lake, really fit for some of their sonar testing and acoustic signatures. Because you get down a lake like this, as cold as it is at depth, yeah, sound travels a lot further. So another unique thing about Lake Pend Oreille and Bayview.
All right, I found a lot here for sale in Bayview. I wanted to show you guys. This one's got an interesting location. So you can see behind me is the naval base. Quite a view from here. Check that out. You've got the marina and the float homes over this way. Naval base right here. There's some manufacturing noise going on right now, but it's not too much. But really this lot, what it has to offer is this incredible view of Lake Pend Oreille. Check that out. So this is a 0.6 acre lot, and this one is listed at $399,000 right here. Killer view in Bayview. Check it out. So there were very few active listings in Bayview when I looked last night. So I came up with this one right here. It's kind of a cool spot. Check out that view. It's got a great view of the mountains right there. A large lot, and we're only 2 minutes from the public marina downtown in Bayview, or down there in Bayview. This one is a 5-bed, 2-bath, built in 1970, 3,300 square feet. And it is listed at $750,000, which is no small amount for sure, but you've got a lot of space here, big home, 2 shops, and I believe I saw a garage on the lower side of the house too. So there's a lot of space here to do what you want to do. You're very close to down the lower part of Bayview, so you could quick bike ride or a walk or golf cart ride to get down to the marina and some of the restaurants down there. So it could be a good option for you here. Get you the little neighborhood tour here. Check that out. All right, there you go. Let's move on.
Guys, wanted to show you another spot. We're about 10 minutes from Bayview. This is Farragut State Park. We're at the Eagle Boat Launch. Farragut's about 4,000 square feet. It actually used to be a Navy boot camp back in the mid 20th century. But this is a pretty cool spot. This bay right here, Idlewild Bay. The mountains behind us cut down a lot of the wind. So this is where you get a lot of your either kayaking or paddle boarding, fishing, stuff like that. This is where I'm going to drop my plug for one of my good friends. His name's Nick Franz, and he's a deputy with the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. He runs a business called Cast, Blast, and Relax. So for some of you that are going to move to North Idaho or that are already here, looking at this beach, there isn't a lot of just laying out on the beach. Everybody out here stays pretty active. So if you're into paddleboarding or kayaking or fishing or anything like that, even if you're not, his business is really pretty cool way to figure out which one of those activities you'd like to get into. He's a local dude from here, and he runs a lot of his stuff right here out of Farragut State Park. He runs in the wintertime too with snowshoes and equipment, and it's pretty awesome. But again, this is Eagle Boat Launch at Farragut State Park, up here about 10 minutes from Bayview.
Hey, thank you guys for joining Eric and myself on this tour of Bayview, Idaho. I think it's one of the most beautiful places here in North Idaho. It's pretty unique, maybe not for everybody. It is a very small community, but it's also close by to a lot. As you can see in some of the driving footage, you know, it is a mixture of some trailers and higher end homes. There's a few condos sprinkled in here and some lots available as well. Talking with Eric, who was a deputy here back in the day, there is some drug stuff here as well. I'm sure someone will challenge me on that, but I trust the cop who worked here. So things to think about. There are some beautiful, beautiful locations. Let me pan behind me one more time just so you can get that view. Right here, Lake Pend Oreille, Kootenai County, North Idaho. Beautiful spot. All right, thank you guys. And remember, if you're looking to move right now or 12 months from now, give us a call, text, or email. We would love to help you make that smooth move right here to North Idaho.